and we have a topic today on what is the purpose of our existence. The topic of today's discussion. What is the purpose of our existence? Are we ready? I think we have taken a minute extra to start the call, but audio, video is okay, right? The connection is okay. So there you are. I'm just trying to. Administrator, you are your host, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, sorry for that. So with that note, today we are going to discuss what is the purpose of our existence. When I get onto a topic like this on what is the purpose of our existence, it becomes very challenging because when you talk to some people ask the question, why should we have purpose? I met a celebrity recently. I was doing a recording with a celebrity recently. वो बोलता है ये enlightenment क्या चाहिए? हम तो entertainment में busy हैं. Entertainment में मजा करो, have fun. क्या ये enlightenment क्या है? I asked him, what is enlightenment? Enlightenment is happiness. खुश रहो. खुश रहो तो you are enlightened. If you are enlightened, you are happy. If you are happy, you are enlightened. What do we do to people like this? What do we do to some spiritual leaders, big spiritual leaders on YouTube, on Facebook? They say people who have a purpose, they are crack, they are mad, they're loose, screw is loose. How can you say that people who have a purpose are insane? It is wrong. It is completely wrong to think like that. So wrong. So, my dear friends, today we are trying to get to this subject as to what is the purpose of our existence? Should we have a purpose? Many of you are thorough about this, but then just to give you that kind of a rehearsal, a review, are we meant to just live and die? Is there a purpose for this human birth on earth? I mean, what is this? What is this all about? I mean, why do we have to do all this spirituality and enlightenment and awakening and sadhana and discipline? Leave it. Just live and die. Why all this lafda? So, therefore, we have to get to the root of this. When I write some songs, I sing some songs, I am very fond of certain, some aspects of my life are unique. And one of the aspects is my songs. I like to sing. And one of the new songs I wrote is, जो प्रभु को बहुत चाहता, निर्वाणा मोक्ष चाहता, योगी वो बन के जीता, मुक्त होता प्रभु को वो पाता, तलाश में जो निकलता, मुमुक्षु जो बन के जीता, जिज्ञासा में वो है जीता, संसार ना प्रभु वो है पाता, जो प्रभु को बहुत चाहता. ये क्या है? What is it प्रभु को चाहना? People don't even understand. प्रभु को चाह, हम प्रभु की पूजा करते हैं, प्रभु को नमस्कार करते हैं, प्रभु की आरती करते हैं. प्रभु को प्यार करना किसी से हम सुना ही नहीं. प्रभु को प्यार कैसे करेंगे? So therefore, what we have to understand is, लाखों में ऐसे एक जो मकसद को ढूंढता, क्यों धरती पे मैं आया, क्या है मकसद जीने का, ओ कौन मैं हूं और क्यों यहाँ आया। प्रभु को वो ढूंढता, कहाँ प्रभु रहता, मंदिर में नहीं उसे दिल के अंदर पाता, वो ही जग से मुक्ति पाता, प्रभु से वो एक हो जाता। प्रभु से एक कैसे होना है? You see, as I told you 5,000 years back, people said Neti Neti Tattvamasi. Thousands of years back, people said Aham Brahmasmi. The Bible is 2,000 years old. It says the kingdom of God is within. God lives in the temple of your heart. Why don't we understand? Why don't we realize there is a purpose? We are so busy going to Tirupati and Rameshwaram and Badrinath and Vaikunth and uh, Ayodhya and Vrindavan and Kedarnath. We are so busy. क्या प्रभु वहां है? क्या प्रभु वहां है? अगर प्रभु वहां पे नहीं है तो बेटर यू गो टू स्विट्जरलैंड. You don't need to go here and there. You go to a place which is the most beautiful place in the world. My dear friends, it's very easy to live without a purpose. You can say life doesn't need a purpose. Then what you do is you wake up, you eat, you drink, you just work, and you die. But then what happens? You will do karma, and then there will be trauma, and you will suffer in this drama, and then you will return to earth in a rebirth. This is what you want to do. Please do it. But many of you are so committed to this call, so committed to your spirituality. Many of you are very, very, very committed. And I really respect and appreciate all of you who are like that, because it is those of you who are like that who are on the journey of awakening, of enlightenment, of spirituality, of God realization. It is so important to get to this point. But unfortunately, many of us are like that man who was riding the horse. Don't I tell you often that story? My favorite story. When somebody is riding a horse, a man galloping, somebody came and stopped that man. He said, Sir, where are you going? Man said, Don't disturb me. Where are you going? Where are you going? He said, I don't know. Ask the horse. So if we are not the boss, if the mind is riding our horse, then we will live with a great loss. And many of you are so advanced on this journey. Some of you are still questioning, should there be a purpose? क्या यार मकसद है क्या? खाओ पियो जियो, मजा करो मजा. So today, I thought we will do a revision of this as to should there be a purpose? What happens if there is no purpose? Suppose many people in your family, your parents, your spouse, your children, they don't have a purpose. What will happen? They will live and they will die. They will create karma, good karma, bad karma. Then they will return to earth in a rebirth. You can do nothing about it. You can do nothing. And they will question you, what is the guarantee? This AiR is telling that you will get moksha. What is the guarantee? How are you going to answer that? So you have to be sure. Does life have a purpose? Does life need a purpose? What is the purpose? This should be very, very clear in your head. Otherwise, like everybody else, we will suffer. When people suffer, what have I taught you? When you suffer, you ask the question, who suffers? Body suffers, mind suffers, ego suffers. There's a triple suffering. So we have to understand who suffers. Our purpose is to realize I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the ego. In that case, the body will have pain, but we will not suffer. The mind cannot make us suffer. The ego cannot make us agonized. We can be free from all suffering if we discover the purpose of life. You heard me carefully? If you discover the purpose of life, you can be free from all the misery on earth. And of course, the cycle from rebirth. So, my dear friends, I want to ask you, जिसने खुद को ना पहचाना वो कहाँ का जीता है जिसने खुद को ना पहचाना वो कहाँ का जीता है तन जब मरता मन और अहंकार बन के वो तो लौटता है पुनर्जन्म लेता धरती पे तड़पता मुक्ति ना पाता है इस जीवन का मकसद है क्या ये जानना मैं कौन हूँ मैं नहीं हूँ ये तन नहीं मैं ये मन नहीं मैं तन मन ना मैं कौन हूँ मैं तो अमर आत्मा हूँ my dear friends the realization of this truth is so important whatever people may tell you don't get carried away remember this truth that we have to find the purpose of our life then people will question rebirth what is the proof of rebirth the only way I'm teaching you something today you ask somebody ask questions you about rebirth ask them do you question death can anybody question death death is a reality somebody will tell you अरे don't talk मरने के बारे में बात मत करो यार मरना पसंद नहीं मुझे मरना पसंद नहीं लेकिन मरना तो है ना I told you 2 days back one of India's richest billionaires Subrata Sahara we told right he died everybody has to die if you're a billionaire you can't escape death is certain birth is happening every day you can't stop birth you can't stop death what is causing birth and death it is karma action and reaction cause and effect therefore it is so important that when somebody asks you rebirth you be clear what is rebirth some people talk of heaven and hell where is heaven and hell heaven and hell is right here on earth you experience heaven and hell when you take birth but unless you discover the purpose of life you can never realize this everything in this world is happening as per karma whether somebody accepts or not there is no god deciding the fate of 8 billion people there is a universal law who's controlling the earth going round and round is god sitting somewhere and with a remote control thoda jaldi jao thoda slow jao no precisely once in 24 hours the earth rotates precisely once in 365 and a quarter days the earth revolves around the sun these are called universal laws and these universal laws control everything in this world so my dear friends if you join birth death and karma if you join these three dots you will get rebirth rebirth is equal to birth plus karma plus death is equal to rebirth. We will all be reborn, and this will go on and on and on. But we can be liberated, and that is the purpose of our life. The purpose of our life is not to cry and to die and to not find out what who am I. The purpose of life is liberation, unification. But unfortunately, many of us are like this blind beggar. When I tell you some stories, you wonder, na? This story, every day, this beggar is begging, every day. You remember the story? The beggar is begging every day, and the night, what he does, he picks all the coins. He picks all the coins and all the dirty papers he throws aside. And some of the nearby people who are very cheap, they come and they pick up all the notes. The beggar things are dirty people. One day, one man notices this beggar is throwing all the notes, and the people, street boys, are coming and taking the notes which the beggar is begging. One day he tells the beggar, "Why are you throwing away all the notes? and taking all the small coins. The beggar said, I don't know the meaning of notes. What notes? Beggar has never seen notes. The beggar, many of us are like this beggar. We are picking the petty things of life, and the big notes of life we are pushing aside. We are missing the big things of life. We are holding on to the petty things of life. When are we going to let go of the petty things and hold on to the bigger things of life? This is all part of the journey of the purpose of life. Many think, many people think our purpose is to attain moksha, nirvana, salvation. How many people understand? Some people think do good karma, you will attain moksha. Some people think go to temple, do arti every day, you will attain God. Who will tell the truth? Who will explain the meaning of life? We have not understood, and therefore, unless we have the help of a good guru, very difficult to understand. Today, you have a choice. You can find out the purpose of life, or you can live with pleasure and strife. There will be pleasure and pain, loss and gain, sun and rain, again and again and again. But, my friends, the cycle of life is not to learn, to earn, to burn, to return. Again, to be born, to learn, to earn, to burn, and to return. The purpose of life is to be liberated and united with God. Sometimes you must remember these stories. These stories are very good. The jailer announced, the jailer announced the president is coming to our jail. And the president wants to give all the prisoners some gift. It's his birthday, president's birthday. So the president comes, some jailer tells him, Sir, I want fan. Another prisoner, very smart, he told, I want AC. One person said, every day I want dosa idli for eating. I don't like the food. Everybody is asking the prisoner, the president. One person goes and tells the president, President, sir, I want freedom. Release me from the jail. We fail to be released from the jail. We fail to ask God for freedom, for mukti, for moksha. We are asking God, my son should get married. My daughter, मेरे बेटी को एक बच्चा चाहिए, पोते, मुझे पोता चाहिए, पोता. We are asking silly things which are not relevant in our life. We are not asking for the main purpose of our life, and that is mukti, is freedom. I hope many of you know what I'm talking about, but this is a revision course, and it's very important. Are you going down the highway to your destination of enlightenment? Are there roadblocks? What is stopping you from achieving your purpose? Many of us have something holding us back. What is it holding you back from the purpose of your life? You need to find the purpose. Have you found the purpose? Are you living your purpose? Is there somebody stopping you from the purpose? Tell me today. Ask me and find a way to be free from the mind and ego me. Find a way to be free from all misery. Find a way to be free and to realize you are divine energy. Find a way to see who you are meant to be. Find the purpose of your existence. It's so important. To find the purpose, some people think it's very difficult, very complicated. To find the purpose of life, you have to answer just two questions. Who am I? Why am I here? Who am I? Why am I here? Even in first standard class, it's more difficult. Even in fourth standard class, the examination is not so easy. Only two questions. Who am I? What am I here? In the examination of life, there are only two questions. If you pass these two questions, you are on your way. Then you will automatically find the other answers. But these two questions are very, very important. Have you found those questions? I was looking at when I got the spark of enlightenment in 2014. In that year, after a few months after that, I wrote this song. What is the song I wrote? I said, कौन मैं हूँ सच में, मैं आत्मा हूँ या तन मन बुद्धि हूँ, ढूंढता था मैं जब तक एहसास हो गया मुझको, कौन मैं हूँ। अहंकार कहता है कि मैं हूँ और कुछ नहीं, मैं मानने को तैयार नहीं कि मैं आत्मा हूँ, ये बदन नहीं मैं, कारोबार सब ये मेरे हैं, रिश्तेदार सब तो मेरे हैं, फिर क्यों शंका ये होती है कि मैं कौन हूं मैं। अरे व्हाट a fool man, you're a fool, you're asking me who I am Girish, you don't know I am Girish, no, who are you? Are I am son of Parvati Amma, you don't know what business you are doing. I am having Girish Enterprises, so many businesses I got. Then, but that is not who you are. Who are you? Who am I? I'm Indian. Then who are you? I'm Hindu. Who are you? Not all that. Who are you in reality? I'm male. That I can see. You are not female. Who are you? People think they know who am I. Nobody knows. Okay? मैं तो ये तन मन ना हूं, ना मैं अहंकार, सच में तो मैं जानू मैं आत्मा और कुछ ना, एहसास हुआ फिर भी फंसा, एक युद्ध मेरे अंदर लड़ता मैं हमेशा, मैं फंसा, मैं खुद में फंसा, तू बचा, तू आके बचा। My dear friends, I tell you all this because for me, life is so blissful, life is so peaceful, and I try my best to help you to reach that state. On Zoom, every day we talk. Who am I? We are not the body that will die. We are not the mind we cannot find. We are not the ego that says I, it's a lie. And you must be saying this air, thakta nahi kya kabhi? He doesn't get tired. He keeps on telling every day same thing. But even after telling every day same thing, have you realized? Have you realized? If you have realized, then you should have pirlu, purification, illumination, realization, liberation, and unification. Purification, illumination, realization, liberation, unification. Have you realized? The whole goal of life is this. Correct? People are busy. Deepavali. We're all busy burning crackers, having Deepavali party, and everybody saying, Happy Deepavali, Happy Deepavali. Oh, after Happy Deepavali, then what happens? Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. No, first of all, not that. Happy World Cup champion. Everybody's waiting. World Cup champion, World Cup champion, happy World Cup champion. We are all in those petty pleasures. Chota pleasures, small pleasures. We have not reached that ultimate state. We have not realized that we are the soul spark of unique life. We have not realized that we are God. We are manifestations of SIP, the supreme immortal power. We have not realized who we are. You know you are God? Do you know you are God? Have you realized this? When will you realize you are God? This is the problem. You are. And if you don't know, the next week you tell me, I will talk on this subject. You are God. You are God. And some of you should be able to tell me if you know you are God. Others will say, yeah, I am Krishna. I am Krishna. I am not Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. I am Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. How simple it is and how difficult it is. How simple it is. Our purpose, mukti, liberation, freedom, moksha, nirvana. Our purpose is to stop splashing like the wave and realize I am the ocean. Our purpose is to realize this body is a costume, it's a garment, it's just what we are wearing. We are the power that is throbbing inside. We are a manifestation of the Supreme. When are we going to understand this? How much ever I tell you, how many ever times I tell you, this has to go inside your head and it has to happen before you are dead. After you are dead, you cannot listen to me, I cannot talk to you. Therefore, the challenge is now. And I tell you, go to Jivan Sangeet. That's the channel which has got all the songs. And one of the songs I think recently we've uploaded is ना तन हूं ना मन हूं ना मैं अहंकार पैदा ना हुआ मैं कभी ना मरता मैं क्या हूं आत्मा हूं अमर आत्मा मैं तन मन अहंकार नहीं हूं मैं आत्मा आत्मा तो अनंत है अनादि परमात्मा. When you realize this, you're free. You're free from all the suffering on earth. You're free from the cycle of rebirth. How many times I have told you, संसार ना ये सच्चा ये तो है माया जो भी यहाँ होता है उसकी लीला कर्मों से मुक्ति पाना पाना मोक्षा मकसद ये है प्रभु से एक है होना जो मरता जीता मरता प्रभु को ना पाता मैं तन मन अहंकार नहीं हूं मैं आत्मा आत्मा तो अनंत है अनादि परमात्मा. It's very, very important for us to reach this state of God realization. There is a purpose, and the purpose is for only human beings. Only somebody with a human birth can realize the truth on earth. Other creatures, a cat and a rat, a dog, a frog, a butterfly, a bee, a tree, they will live and they will die. Only man can find out who am I. And who am I? And after that, why? Why? Why am I here? This is the purpose. There are many ways to achieve this purpose. Every day on Zoom, we try to talk of some way, some method, some analogy. Today, I landed in Zurich. When I landed in Zurich, what did I see? I saw plane, aeroplane. Queet. And I was thinking, suppose the aeroplane, the pilot decided, चलो थोड़ा मजा करेंगे. Suppose the pilot decided, थोड़ा मजा करेंगे. The pilot goes round and round 4-5 times in the sky. What will happen? If he goes around 4-5 times in the sky, his fuel will be over and he will die. Because the plane will crash. The plane will crash. Just like the pilot has limited fuel, gasoline in the plane, we have limited time. Our plane also will crash. Our body is like an aircraft. And today I was looking at the plane and I said, just like the pilot has to go to the destination, we have to go to realization. We have to go to liberation. Every time I see something, my mind goes only to one point because my consciousness is only on one subject. I saw the plane and I said, it reminded me that every time you see a plane, you must remember the pilot needs to reach its destination. And if we don't reach liberation, then there will be reincarnation. And if there's reincarnation, we will return and we will live and we will die. My dear friends, wake up, wake up. And if you don't know anything else, tell yourself, प्रभु पाना यही मकसद है मरने से पहले प्रभु को पाना है सब कुछ मिला अगर प्रभु ना मिला तो संसार मिला फिर भी कुछ ना हम पाते प्रभु पर कहाँ है वो शक्ति सर्वशक्ति वो है परमनंत अनादि प्रभु पाना यही मकसद है. Don't try and go and that I was singing a song. Did I not tell you? संसार से घर मिल गया सब मिला तो क्या मिला. And then the days I told संसार में घर सीख गया सब सीखा तो क्या मिला. LLB घर बन गया फिर भी लॉयर बना तो क्या बना. बेटे बेटी की शादी कराई तो कराया तो क्या मिला. दीपावली पे मिठाई बनाया तो ये खाया तो क्या मिला. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we wandering? We are wandering like animals. We live and we die. Then we are no better than a table and a chair. We are no better than a tree that is bound to the ground. The human being is free. We are not supposed to be like a tree. We must not waste. We must haste. We must not waste. We must haste. We must get a taste of Anubhuti. And the taste of Anubhuti comes when you go to find the purpose of life. My dear friends, life has a purpose. Don't think you're just meant to live and die. Don't think life is to have fun till it is done. Don't think that you are just born and one day you will be gone. Only human being can discover the purpose. And if you don't, you will suffer on earth. You will return in a rebirth. Remember, Pirlu, purification, illumination, realization, liberation, unification. Keep this Pirlu word in your hand. You have 5 fingers, no? You have 5 fingers? Today I'm teaching you. What? PIRLU. PIRLU. Purification, illumination, realization, liberation, unification. Purification, illumination, realization, liberation, unification. Don't waste your life. And next week, you tell me what you want the subject to be. You want me to talk on you are God? Then I will talk on that. But if you want something else, administrator, I'm leaving the session open to public demand. Sometimes I want you to choose a topic. So you decide what do you want next week. One subject that came up today is you are God. But I'm saying you decide what you want. Time is over. I've crossed the limit. I thought I was going to speak less today, but my limit is over. Administrator, let us get on to Ask AiR. Ask AiR. What do you want to ask? The purpose of life. What do you want to ask? We have got administrator. I have lost the order, I think.
Premchandji.
Premchandji. Good. So is it okay? Then after Premchand, you just tell me the two, and I've got Meenakshi, Krishan. I don't know who. I think okay. Premchandji, Meenakshi, and Krishan. प्रेमचंद जी बोलिए।
शिव प्रेमचंद गुप्ता, Gurudev, you have already explained each and everything to us about the liberation and about the purpose of the existence. That we have, as per karma yoga, we come here to face the trial. But this is the as usual. This is a yogani. We have to unite with the God. But when I talk to one of my friends, वो कहते हैं तेने सब छोड़ दिया, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? हम तो देख भाई, हम तो मतलब कुछ गलत काम नहीं करते, कोई बेईमानी नहीं करते, कुछ नहीं करते, ड्रिंक भी करते हैं, टीवी का मैच भी देखते हैं, हमारे मन पे कोई बोझ भी नहीं है। अब मैं उनको कैसे समझाऊं कि मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? मैंने बहुत कोशिश करी। वो कहते हैं हम तो शांति से जी रहे हैं, हम तो शांति से जी रहे हैं, हम तो इससे जो होगा देखा जाएगा।
आप भी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन अगर आपको वो करना है फिर आपको मुक्ति नहीं मिलेगी, मोक्ष नहीं मिलेगा।
वो कहते हम नहीं जानते मुक्ति क्या होती है, हम तो जानते हैं कि हम गलत काम नहीं कर रहे हैं।
नहीं, गलत काम नहीं करना एक बात है, लेकिन मुक्ति पाना अलग बात है ना।
मैंने कहा एक दो से, but they are not ready. So then I thought that the inclination will come from the grace of God only. That he should be, he would automatically come to that side. The time will come.
Yeah, so you please you continue your path. You know you are in the right path. आपको कोई डाउट है? आप पाथ सही दिशा में है? आपको कोई डाउट है?
नहीं,
बस you continue. उनको अगर नहीं आता है तो
मैंने कोई आपने कहा था ना कोशिश करे, तो मैंने एक दो से कोशिश करी। वो कहते हम गलत काम करते हैं नहीं, हम तो हम शांत मोरल लाइफ लीड कर रहे हैं, हम कोई गलत हमारी दुश्मनी है न हमारी दुश्मनी है किसी से, हम शांति से जी रहे हैं। तो
एक ही बात है उनको ये पूछना कि मौत पे क्या होगा और उनका जन्मदिन कब हुआ और वो तन नहीं है। ये बातों से इफ इन केस दे कैन बी इंस्पायर्ड, वेरी गुड। इफ दे कैन नॉट बी इंस्पायर्ड, डोंट वरी।
हाँ, वही मैं कह रहा हूँ।
You are doing, see, let me tell you, what you are doing is called लाडी। लाडी का मतलब क्या है? Administrative, there's no other subject we can talk of Ladi. Ladi means living as a divine instrument.
Yes,
living, you are living as a divine instrument. You are trying to help them attain realization. That is, you are only behaving. आपको क्या मिलेगा? आपको कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. But you are doing the will of God. You are being the instrument of God. आप अपनी कोशिश जारी रखो. चिंता मत करो. आप अपनी कोशिश जारी रखो.
Thank you. Otherwise, you have given each and every word about the purpose of our existence. So nothing to say.
Please follow. Please, if you have a question, you ask me. Otherwise, you follow with the path. Okay. Thank you. Meenakshi Krishan Bala. Meenakshi Krishan Bala.
Hello. Hi.
Yes, Meenakshi.
Hi, sir. Shubham. Sir, as you said that whenever you see anything, you try to find, you see only the purpose of liberation.
Correct.
But as we are living in the worldly things, because you are only connected to that thing and your only purpose is that. My also purpose is the same, that to get the liberation. But by whenever we are doing our daily routine work, we are not, whenever I'm doing my office work, then I'm away from my purpose, because at every time I'm not able to give time to, that.
So let me guide you.
About it. Yeah.
Let me guide you. How many hours you work in office?
8, 9 hours.
So 8 hours, strictly 8 hours, you do not worry about what you're doing in office. Balance, you have 16 hours.
Yeah.
In that 16 hours, you may be sleeping 6, 7, 8 hours, sleeping, having shower, getting ready.
Yeah.
The challenge is the other 8 hours.
Yeah.
Liberation, enlightenment, and liberation and purpose, it depends on the formula. There's a formula. The formula is equal to 8 plus 8 plus 8. What's the formula? 8 plus 8 plus 8. 8 hours, even if you are doing your office work, because you have to papi pet ka sawal hai. If you have to do it. If I'm blessed, I have finished working 25 years. I don't have those 8 hours. I don't need to do that. But if you have to work for 8 hours and you have to sleep for 6, 7, 8 hours and I get ready and cook or whatever, the balance 8 hours you should dedicate to God.
I am doing
Keep
that,
that
sir.
much, keep that much in mind. Don't let anybody interfere in that 8 hours.
Yeah.
And if you have got office 5 days a week, the other 2 days you can use for family, you can use for other things. But out of the 8 hours, try to give maximum, if not eight, seven, if not seven, six, give
Yes.
maximum time to your personal journey. This is your voyage to God. This is your inner journey to God. This is the most important trip to sip. Any other trip is a waste. You know, wherever
Yes.
I travel, no, you know where I'm traveling. Am I traveling because I wanted to be here, or I'm traveling because I want to be with SIP?
Want to be with you.
Wherever I may go. I was in the plane yesterday for 8 hours. I was reading a book for 6 hours. I slept for 1 hour. I ate for 1 hour. So we must be committed. Today I was in a train. I was watching podcast of 1 hour with Anupam Kher so that it's released tomorrow. 1 hour I was watching snow because Prabhu. Prabhu paas hai, Prabhu paas hai. I was seeing God snowing. So whether it is raining or snowing, so for me, it is about spending time with SIP. And a person like you, I have to give you a solution. And today I'm giving you a practical solution. I hope it's a practical solution what I'm giving you.
Yes, sir.
Don't get don't get worried about the other aspect. And of course, as soon as you can devote this 8 hours of work to SIP by either earning enough and retiring from there, or taking support of your husband, or God giving you some way of you not needing to work. We have to work only if we need to work.
Yes.
If we don't need to work, then we can dedicate that time to SIP.
Yes.
Okay. So
So
if you are
for remaining,
very
one more thing, sir, for remaining, for the time which I am giving to my work, so I can be like divine instrument now. Like I am doing that work as a divine instrument. So
you
is
have to
that
be
okay?
you have to be a yogi, you have to live in yoga, you have to live in
Karma.
dhyana yoga, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. That is the way to do it. When you do that, then only you will be able to attain that state of mukti and moksha, no? So you must learn, you must read, you must serve God in all, see God in all. You all the time your concentration is on talash, on a quest, on mukti. Your whole your orientation has to be on that. Suppose I'm asking you,
Got
you are a wildlife fan, you're crazy about wildlife, and you enter a
okay.
jungle.
Okay.
What will be your complete concentration?
To find the animals and
To
to
spot to spot कि tiger किधर है, lion किधर है,
yeah.
हाथी किधर है. So like that, like how you are a wildlife lover in a jungle, in a wildlife sanctuary, trying to find the game. What they call the big five game, like that. So a person who's a seeker of God must constantly be searching for God.
Got
And
it.
I've given you a formula. Don't feel disturbed because of your work. I'm
Yeah.
giving you a formula. Do your work and try to, if I were you, suppose you can work for 3 months and you earn so much money, you can take 3 months holiday for retreat. Very good. Suppose you can work for 3 months and get 1 month holiday because you have saved enough money. Very good. I don't know what is your condition. So this on a one-to-one basis, I can guide you. For example, Premchandji is 83 years old. Premchandji doesn't need to worry about this. Premchandji can give 16 hours a day to God, 8 hours sleeping, but 15, 16 hours he can pay attention to God. So it all depends upon each one, how much we have evolved in the journey of life.
Got it, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Krishan, thank you, Krishan, and then Bala.
Shivam Guruji, according to
Sir,
me, next week topic will be how to live a divine instrument, life as a divine instrument of God. Because
okay,
everyone think
right.
that if I do dharma, it's a divine instrument work. If I do seva, it's a divine instrument work. If I do puja, it's a divine instrument. There
Good.
is a lot of
So,
confusion in that.
okay.
And
So we will try to talk next week on living as a divine instrument.
my question is that prior to join this group, I was a member of a self-motivated group. where I
Mm.
made a vision board for myself that I want to open a university on the name of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I have to earn that much money. Right now, if I look on that board, I laugh on myself that worldly things are going to force me to do this thing. Right now, I have a big goal that I have to liberate it from this world and live like as a divine instrument of the God. But sometimes mind comes in the picture and says, why cannot I run both project on the same time?
You must try to run that other project in a modified manner. You must
Same
say, I
project.
want, usko bolo, I will open a university of spirituality. So say I will open the same, but instead of opening university of motivation, I will open a university of realization. Because motivation to choti baat hai. Any goal in life can evolve to a bigger goal. Don't feel ashamed or bad. You should not go from a goal to a smaller goal, but you can go from a goal to a bigger goal. So आपका गोल को और बड़ा बनाओ. बोलो पहले मुझे लिबरेशन चाहिए, उसके बाद रियलाइजेशन का यूनिवर्सिटी खोलूंगा मैं. I will dedicate my life to living as a divine instrument. अभी आपको और थोड़ा आगे बढ़ना है, और सीखना है, और करना है. But अगर आप, let me ask you a question. मोटिवेशन के लिए दुनिया में कितने लोग हैं?
करोड़ों है सर. हर गली में एक मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर बैठा अपनी दुकान खोल के.
फिर क्या होगा कृष्ण? मोटिवेशन करने से क्या होगा?
नहीं, वो टेम्परेरी नशा है. मोटिवेशन भी जो टेम्परेरी कुछ टाइम के लिए चढ़ता है उसके बाद उतर जाता है. लिबरेशन है जो फाइनल अल्टीमेट पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ देता है.
So turn from motivation to inspiration. Inspiration मतलब inspiration मतलब inner energy को spiral करना है. Inspiration, spiritual inspiration. So that's a much higher goal. And don't, देखिए ये जो आप बोलते हैं ना, I feel little bad कि मैं हंस रहा हूँ ना, उस पे हंसना भी गलत है और उस पे अटकना भी गलत है. We have to learn. There was one lady, she was telling me, my husband is beating me for the last 20 years. I said, okay, husband is beating you for the last 20 years. What to do? No, I'm waiting for my daughter. My daughter is small. I said, how old is your daughter now? No, my daughter is 18 years old. I said, no, your daughter is 18 years old. Your husband is beating from 20 years. So what is the plan? I'm thinking of leaving him. So what's the problem? No, I'm feeling very bad. What you're feeling bad that he's not beating you enough. You want him to beat you some more. तो एक को now it's not my business. उसको खुद सोचना है कि अभी उसकी बेटी 18 साल की है, उसके हस्बैंड 20 साल से मार रहा है, तो क्या करना है फिर? मरना है. So we have to have the courage to take a step in the right direction, but not jumping from from the frying pan into the fire. We must take a right direction and move upwards. My Guruji always told me, move onward, forward, inward, upward, Godward. Onward, forward, inward, upward, Godward. This should be our journey. Keep on moving forward. Keep on. तो आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी का प्लान को भाड़ में जाओ. नया यूनिवर्सिटी उसको एडिट करो, वो बोर्ड को एडिट करो and move forward. Bala Krishna.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
And Ladi, administrator, make note of next week, Ladi.
Pranam,
Bala
Guruji.
Pranam.
Pranam. Guruji, whatever you were saying, it was like a mind blowing. Everything went in my this thing. Went in my conscious and everything. I am realizing it everything, and it was wonderful session, sir. Sir, I just wanted to ask. Many a times I avoid gossiping. I stopped clinging people, but sometimes the situation happens. Abhi Diwali aayi, log aate hain milne ke liye. They meet and they talk about present. They talk about future. They talk about the past. Because because seeing my life, I have overcome many things, and they really praise me like anything. But in this situation now, what is happening? And if I talk on spirituality, they get bored. They don't speak only with me. Then I have to answer them. So in that case, I arises. I have observed yesterday, Guruji, that in that case, I arises and I slip in that past. कि हाँ ऐसे हुआ था, मेरे साथ ऐसे हुआ था, फिर मैंने ऐसे किया, फिर my in-laws did that way. I was not bothering about them. Guruji, this is what we say. Guruji,
तो लास्ट टाइम मैंने आपको बोला था ना, लास्ट टाइम क्या एग्जांपल दिया था आपने?
Guruji, but they don't want to talk about
मैंने बोला
spirituality.
लास्ट टाइम कि पूरा 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 खाना खाने के बाद पूरा कचड़ा कचड़ा का डब्बा में खिलवाने के बाद फिर उसी को स्पून से निकाल के प्लेट में डाल के खाएगी क्या?
तो फिर क्या करो गुरुजी? How to
अरे
tackle
कचड़ा,
the situation?
अरे कचड़ा है, कचड़ा को छोड़ो, कचड़ा को क्यों प्लेट में डाल के खाते हो?
Then that time what should I give the reaction?
No, walk out of it. बोलो मेरा टाइम हो गया, मेरा मेडिटेशन का टाइम हो गया, मेरे प्रभु का टाइम, मेरा आई हैव गॉट अपॉइंटमेंट विद द मोस्ट प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट. कौन है तुम्हारा प्रेसिडेंट? वो प्रेसिडेंटशिप है. आई गॉट अपॉइंटमेंट विद प्रेसिडेंटशिप.
गुरुजी वो बोलेगी इसको बहुत बहुत ये आ गया है, उसको बहुत ईगो. गुरुजी यू डोंट नो हाउ.
भाड़ में जाओ, भाड़ में जाओ. उसको क्या, वो क्या सोचते हैं, भाड़ में जाओ, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? आपको उनकी चिंता है, आपको अपनी चिंता है. See, Bala, if we are more worried about others, then means we are not giving enough importance to ourselves. And Buddha said, Apo Deepo Bhava. Apna deep khud jalao. Don't worry about others. You have, हाँ, छोटी बच्ची है, 2 साल की बच्ची है, तो आपको देखना है ना, 2 साल की बच्ची है, दूध पिलाना है. बट बाकी लोग आते हैं, बात करते हैं, कचड़ा सुनाते हैं, कचड़ा बोलते हैं, रबिश बात करते हैं, भटकाते हैं. क्यों? Why should I get lost in this? मैं तो नहीं करता हूँ, आपको करना है करो.
नहीं गुरुजी.
No, you have to have sadhana. You have to have discipline. You have to say stop. अगर वो 2 मिनट बात करते हैं, 2 मिनट सुनो, नमस्कार नमस्कार, हैप्पी दीपावली, सब ठीक है, हाँ, नमस्कार 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 करके निकल जाओ. Don't waste your time. Man's greatest tragedy is he thinks he has plenty of time.
Yeah.
किसको पता कल घंटी बजेगी फिर?
कल नहीं, नेक्स्ट मोमेंट का भरोसा नहीं है गुरुजी.
घंटी बज गई तो हो गया वाला.
नेक्स्ट मोमेंट का भरोसा नहीं है गुरुजी.
घंटी बजने से पहले. कृष्णा, थैंक यू. कृष्णा.
Shivohan sir.
Yes.
So every day, all these points which we have said, do you have a purpose? What's the need of a purpose? And what's your purpose? We have understood. When I came to the call, my purpose was only realization. Beyond, I've never even thought of liberation and unification and all that. But now my question to you is, sir, I am disciplined in my sadhana. I involve very less in the outside world. It's not that I don't go, but I understand true spirituality is not an escape from life. I go with, with clarity only. I go with, I come back to my discipline and all that. But still, I have a kind of a dissatisfaction with my spirituality. So my question to you is, how can you be spiritually contented? I'm not talking about the material contentment. I'm still not contented. I know there is a big gap. There is something.
So it's very simple. It's very simple. Are you not spiritually content all the time? Or are you blissful sometimes and not content sometimes?
I am most of the time, but even my guru, I have got so much from my gurus. So I think for me, it is a binary system. Either it's a 0 or it's a 1. So even if I'm not to that extent of an anubhuti, I think I failed. I have not reached that point. I'm blissful most of the time. I'm not sad. I'm not saying I'm sad and, distressed or nothing.
Who is creating this discontent?
No, my intellect, not my mind.
No, you're thinking it's intellect, but it's mind. Because the spiritual state is a state of consciousness. In a state of consciousness, there is peace. In a state of consciousness of the truth, there is Sat Chit Anand. There is no question of being not content. Listen to this carefully. The moment you are not content, it automatically means the mind is taken command. If the mind takes command, it is just like, if you try to fill air into a container which has already got air, you can't fill. There's an experiment. I don't know what is the experiment we do. So you have to empty yourself. only when you empty yourself and you're in that state of consciousness, not only will you find contentment and fulfillment, you will find ecstasy. And you experience that ecstasy many times. But the problem is, it's like a yo yo. You experience that joy and that bliss and that oh wow, I am Krishna, I am Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhu paas hai. You reach that state, then you start thinking that is my guru like this, my spirituality like this, and you're thinking it is intellect. No, it is mind. Because the intellect and the consciousness will never rob your peace. When the peace disappears, the mind appears. When the mind disappears, peace appears. Don't reply to me now. Pay attention, and you have to have a notebook. It's called the Mind and Consciousness Notebook. And every time you're losing your peace, write in the mind column, the mind page. Left page can be mind, right page can be consciousness. You can just buy, take any notebook and say, put left page and right page. Put the date when you're in the mind state, how you're feeling, and when consciousness state, how you're feeling. No doubt, there is no. See, I have gone through all this, and even now, if occasionally I go to mind state, oh, oh, it can kill me even now. So I am very strong in locking and blocking the mind. Very strong. I'm telling you, some of the issues I may be having are very big issues, not small issues, very big issues. But when you lock the mind, then the issue disappears. It becomes insignificant. Because then you say, kya hoga? Jo hoga, hoga. But in the mind state, you can't say like that. Mind, Arey Baba, isko kya hoga? Arey Baba, usko kya hoga? Arey, the mind makes you fear. The mind makes you worry. The mind creates anxiety. Somebody asked me, what is anxiety? You know what is anxiety? You know what is anxiety? When there's a combination of fear, worry, stress, regret, shame, and guilt, it becomes a cocktail called anxiety. It becomes a cocktail. Now you have mango juice with coconut and cherries and blueberries. It's a cocktail of fear.
So all these words, I'm not saying about the worldly things which I'm saying about in my spiritual sadhana. See, after all this, I have not reached that the state of anubhuti or anything. So मुझे लगता है कि there is a kami in me. So I don't know whether it is. And one more thing I want to ask: when you always say surrender, surrender, then I say कि Prabhu I surrendered, but then there is what's the purpose then? I surrender,
Well,
no,
right
खत्म
now
हो
only
गया ना purpose.
right now only you're not surrendering. In front of me only you're not surrendering. Right now only you're not surrendering. You are telling Prabhu, huh? You are telling Prabhu, तुम कुछ नहीं जानते मेरे प्रीतम, मेरी इच्छा पूरत हो, मुझे कंटेंट भी चाहिए, मुझे फुलफिल चाहिए, तुम क्या कर रहे हो? Is that what we should tell? Surrender means Krishna. Surrender means तुम ही सब कुछ जानत प्रीतम, तेरी इच्छा पूरत हो. It is the ability to let go. It is the ability to trust. It is the ability to believe.
Nice. So फिर then why do you say that you don't have time?
Time means
आपने बोला ना आपको लग रहा है कि आपके पास टाइम है लेकिन टाइम नहीं है. So then what are we supposed to do? Not to life, not to write, you know.
आपके पास टाइम नहीं है to go and waste your time. उसके लिए time we talked about. We are not saying आपके पास time नहीं. प्रभु को बोलो, प्रभु जागो, प्रभु, where are you? जागो, 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 जागो. Hello, I don't have time. Fast, fast, fast. You don't have to worry like. You have to live as a divine instrument. Next week, Ladi. Living as a divine instrument. You surrender. You let go. Whatever will be, will be. The future is not ours to see. Kesara Sara. Krishna, you are very advanced in the path. When you're advanced in the path, it's like driving a car at 200 kilometers an hour. You know, driving a car at 200 kilometers an hour, if even one small stone comes in the way, your car will topple. Be careful. You're going very fast on this path. Don't let your mind make you rush. topple. Continue the spiritual journey. You are advanced in your knowledge. Don't get carried away by small things. Don't say, I have no spiritual contentment. There is the word spiritual contentment. The word spiritual contentment is a paradox. If you are spiritual, you don't need contentment. If you have contentment, then you're not spiritual.
Huh? If you're
contentment is prior to spirituality. Contentment and fulfillment comes before enlightenment. When there is enlightenment, why do you want contentment? What contentment you are talking about? When you surrender, you don't need contentment. Contentment means you want to fulfill some desire. When there's no desire, where's the question of contentment?
But नहीं, because आपने बताया ना प्रभु को पाना ये desire नहीं होता.
That is not called desire in the desire sense. That
is
your life.
And may I ask you one more line, sir, if it's allowed? Yeah. But it is from a quote of Maharshi, so I don't know whether I can ask. He always says, karma carries the seed of its own destruction. So मुझे लगता है कि when you have a karma, what's the meaning of that according to you?
Karma carries the seed of its own destruction. Its own. I don't know what is the but karma carries the seed of destruction. I don't want to say its own.
Its own destruction. You don't have to.
Yeah, because the moment there is karma, there is destruction. Na? The moment there is karma, there can be no liberation. You have to be free from karma, na Krishna. The moment there's good karma or bad karma, there'll be destruction. Means you will be destroyed and you have to come back to earth. You have to transcend karma. The moment karma plants a seed, means there's destruction. Means your liberation has been destroyed. Same thing I'm telling you. Let go. Surrender. Be a divine instrument. This is the way. And you don't... Clearly the mind is coming and picking at you and pinning you and tickling you and biting you. You have to be careful. You have to be in consciousness. I've given you a few tips. I hope you will follow that. Raj. Thank you. Raj and Bala. We'll close with Raj and Bala. Raj, are you there?
Yes, sir. And sir, I want to ask a question. हम देखते हैं कि एक छोटा बच्चा जो अभी अभी पैदा हुआ है या 1-2-4 साल का हो गया और वो ल्यूकीमिया से he is fighting at the last stage, है ना? उसका कर्मा कैसे डिसाइड हुआ, क्या हुआ, उसका प्रारब्ध ऐसा क्यों हुआ? तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है उत्पत्ति ही नहीं होनी चाहिए. तो उत्पत्ति नहीं होगी तो विनाश नहीं होगा और सारी चीजों को हम देखेंगे तो हमको ये लग रहा है ना एक सफरिंग चल रही है ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड. तो जब सफरिंग ही है तो हमारा उत्पत्ति और विनाश जैसा कुछ होना ही नहीं चाहिए. हम जैसे हैं वैसे ही रहें.
तो अगर आप प्रभु है तो आप इसे डिसाइड कर सकते हैं. बट आप अनफॉर्चुनेटली आप नहीं जानते.
नहीं सर, मैं आपसे
नहीं. तो राज
तो
जी,
वही क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ.
सुनिए, अगर एक पेड़ पे आप आम देखते हैं तो आप ये सवाल पूछेंगे आम क्यों है, आप सेब क्यों नहीं, पूछेंगे आप?
नो सर.
अगर पेड़ पे आम है, आप कभी आपने सवाल पूछा अरे आम क्यों है यार, सेब होना चाहिए, पूछते हैं आप?
नहीं.
क्यों नहीं पूछते हैं?
क्योंकि ऐसा लगता है कि वो उसी चीज के लिए बना हुआ है.
नहीं, आम के पेड़ पे आम ही आएगा ना, सेब नहीं आ सकता है ना.
हाँ.
जो हमने बीज बोया वही तो फल आएगा.
हाँ.
मानते नहीं मानते?
जी.
क्या हमने क्या बोला
कि मतलब जो जिस चीज के लिए बना है वो उसमें वही चीज है.
जो भी हम बीज बोएंगे वही फल आएगा. आप मानते नहीं मानते?
हाँ.
मानते हैं. तो अगर आपके पड़ोसी में कोकोनट ट्री है जी, तो कोकोनट ट्री है तो कौन सा बीज डाला होगा उसने? मैंगो?
कोकोनट नहीं, कोकोनट.
कोई डाउट है आपको?
सर मेरा क्लियर नहीं हुआ, तो मतलब मेरे को ये जानना है कि सर
बिकॉज़ आप सुन नहीं रहे हैं, आप सोच रहे हैं. सुनना थोड़ा बंद, सोचना थोड़ा बंद करके सुनो.
जी.
मैं पूछ रहा हूँ पड़ोसी ने के घर में कोकोनट ट्री है, क्या बीज बोया उसने?
कोकोनट का ही बोया हो।
करेक्ट ना? तो
जी
अगर पड़ोसी के घर में कोकोनट ट्री है तो कोकोनट का बीज ही बोया है। अगर 4 साल के बच्चे को ल्यूकेमिया है तो कौन सा बीज बोया उसने?
वो इतना
बीज।
छोटा है, वो कैसे ये बीज
अरे ये तो पुराने जन्म का बीज है, ये बीज थोड़ी अभी उसने बोया है। अगर आप
अच्छा
बोलते 4 साल का, मैं आपको सवाल पूछता हूं, एक दिन का बच्चा है, एक दिन
जी
का बच्चा है, अंधा है, क्या पाप
जी
किया उसने? क्या पाप किया है?
नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं, इस जन्म में तो कुछ भी नहीं।
हाँ, तो उसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि पुनर्जन्म है। इसका एहसास
जी
होता है कि पुनर्जन्म है, इसलिए कोई अंधा पैदा होता है, इसलिए कोई अंबानी के घर में पैदा होता है और एक भिखारी के घर में पैदा होता है। क्यों कोई अंबानी के घर में पैदा होता है और क्यों कोई भिखारी के घर में पैदा होता है? कोई
आ,
आंसर है?
हाँ, पुराने कर्म ही ऐसा बोल सकते हैं
दैट इज द आंसर। तो वो
सर।
आंसर पूरे दुनिया
बट
में जो
हम
भी हो
इससे
रहा है
लिबरेट क्यों नहीं, हम लिबरेट क्यों नहीं
हाँ?
होते? जब हमारा उत्पत्ति और विनाश
हम
निश्चित है
लिबरेट
तो
हम
उत्पत्ति ही क्यों हुई?
हम लिबरेट इसलिए, उत्पत्ति इसलिए होती है, हमारे पास कर्म है। पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट क्लियर हो गई। हमारा जन्म, ये आपको, आप जीवन संगीत में जाके भजन सुनिए, वो क्या
जी
मेरी तकदीर जो पैदा हुआ मैं, संसार में आया
हम्म,
मैं, संसार में आया मैं क्यों, क्या मैंने किया है। जाके आप शायद नए हैं इस कॉल पे, आप पहले से हैं, आप नए हैं कॉल में?
सर आज
इस
पहली
कॉल
बार
में?
हूँ सर।
हाँ, कैसे, किसने बताया
पहली
आपको
बार
कॉल के बारे में?
सर। मैंने अ, अ, चेतन भगत सर का इंटरव्यू देखा था आपका।
वेरी गुड। तो मैं पूछ रहा हूँ आपको, आपने अपने माँ बाप चुने क्या? आपने डिसाइड
नहीं
किया
सर,
कि आप इंडियन बॉर्न, आप अमेरिकन क्यों नहीं बने, इंडियन क्यों बने आप? आपने चुना क्या?
वो तो नहीं, वो तो विधि है।
यार राज जी, सब कुछ कर्म के हिसाब से होता है, प्लीज बी क्लियर।
जी
और कर्म के हिसाब से होता है। हमें मुक्ति क्यों नहीं मिलती, मोक्ष क्यों नहीं मिलता है? अगर हम प्रभु को बहुत चाहेंगे, हम प्रभु की तलाश में जाएंगे, मुक्ति 100% मुक्ति मिलेगी। अगर आप ये कॉल पे डेली आएंगे, मैं गारंटी देता हूँ मुक्ति मिलेगी। मैं भी देखता हूँ डेली आते हैं, कितना दिन आते हैं मैं देखता हूँ।
जी सर।
इस कॉल पे लोग हैं 2 साल से, 3 साल से, एक दिन भी मिस नहीं किया।
जी सर।
प्रभु की प्यास चाहिए।
जी सर।
एक आदमी था, वो बोलता है प्रभु चाहिए, प्रभु चाहिए, प्रभु चाहिए, ठीक है?
जी सर।
वो गुरु के पास जाता है, बोला प्रभु चाहिए, प्रभु चाहिए, प्रभु चाहिए। प्रभु ले जाता है उसको एक नदी के पास ले जाता है। नदी में उसका सर नदी पानी के अंदर डुबा देता है, और वो चिल्लाता है, वो। गुरु फिर निकाल के बोलता है, सर, जब तुम्हारा सर पानी के नीचे नीचे था, तुम्हें क्या चाहिए था? मुझे सिर्फ हवा चाहिए था, मुझे हवा चाहिए थी, जीने के लिए हवा चाहिए था। वो बोलता है, जब तुम्हारे लिए प्रभु के लिए इतना प्यास होगा ना, इतनी प्यास होगी, तभी तुम्हें प्रभु मिलेगा।
जी सर।
ओके, आई होप आई आंसर्ड योर क्वेश्चन।
यस सर, थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, please do join us on the call. Last question, Bala.
Pranam Guruji. Guruji,
Pranam.
initially I was attached to the Guruji. Actually ना, मैं जब अकेली रहती हूँ, मैं किसी के साथ मिक्स नहीं होती हूँ, that time I am in this conscious stage. बहुत सब कुछ, everything is going on well. But when what we stuck to anybody, आके मुझे मिलना, तो फिर वो सब कॉम्प्लिकेशन शुरू होता है। अभी
तो
एक
सिंपल
ग्रुप
बात
से
है,
नहीं,
सिंपल बात है। अभी बैग पैक करके जंगल में चले जाओ। अभी
सर इट
सिंपल
इज
बात है
नॉट
ना।
पॉसिबल ना सर। आई विल।
आप बोल रहे लोग आ रहे हैं, मैं आपको सोल्यूशन देता हूँ। बैग पैक करो, अभी जंगल में निकल जाओ आप।
तो बैग की भी जरूरत नहीं है गुरुजी।
What you know that is not possible means there are only two possibilities. या तो घर छोड़ के जंगल में चले जाओ, या तो घर में रहो और लोगों से दूर रहो। Both possibilities you have got to choose. Better
One
better you be in the house and better you stay away instead of going to jungle.
Guruji, I was attached to one spiritual group initially, and उनका कैंप है अभी पुणे में, and they're always calling me and telling me, call so many people, call this one, and I don't want to waste my time in all these things. And उसके लिए फिर मुझे ना सॉल्यूशन ढूंढना पड़ता है कि अभी मैं क्या बोलूं उनको, क्या बोलूं मैं उनको. एवरी टाइम आई हैव टू गो इन दैट माइंड स्टेट एंड आई गेट फेड अप ऑफ ऑल दीज थिंग्स.
तो बोलो,
गुरुजी, हाउ टू
उनको बोलो,
टैकल?
उनको बोलो आप सब लोग ये जूम कॉल के आ जाओ, मुझे आपके पास नहीं आना है, आप लोग सब जूम कॉल में ज्वाइन हो जाओ, खत्म हो गई बात.
Guruji, but no, I don't want to leave that group. I want to be in that group, but I don't want to do their work.
देखो वही तो है ना, you can't drive, you can't sail on two boats, you can't ride on two goats, you can't drive on two roads. ये तो प्रॉब्लम है ना, एक पाँव इधर चाहिए एक पाँव उधर चाहिए, तो फिर टेंशन तो होगा ना.
तो क्या करूं अभी गुरुजी?
तो ये जूम कॉल से छुट्टी लेके चले जाओ पुणे 3-4
नहीं,
दिन,
नहीं,
हमें
नहीं,
आके हमें बताओ क्या हुआ स्पिरिचुअल रिट्रीट में.
नहीं गुरुजी, आई वाज फॉलोइंग देयर डाइट एंड एवरीथिंग. उससे मुझे फर्क पड़ा है, पर I don't want to leave them also. I don't want to leave you also.
You don't have to leave them, but you have to give a priority to what is important.
Okay.
If you think this is important, that is not important, please give it second priority. You don't have to leave everything, but you must learn to see what is the right priority. Usko priority do. If you feel that is priority, go. If this is priority, then you be here. You have to decide what is your priority. ये आपको बुद्धि से छोड़ना है. You have to use your intellect.
Okay.
So my dear friends, you see so many people have so many issues, but the issues are all coming back to the same root. The root of the problem is avidya. The root of the problem is not having the purpose of life. That's why people are struggling. People are struggling to go to Pune, go to jungle, going here, going there. People are struggling. There's no need to struggle. Sat Chit Anand. If you go to Sat Chit Anand today, only you can be. You can live in that state. But unfortunately, we are running behind pleasures, possessions, people. We are prisoners. We are clinging. Therefore, there is suffering. And sometimes our own mind is making us blind. We have to leave this mind behind. We need to reach that state of consciousness. If you reach that state of consciousness, you will find Sat Chit Anand. And the solution is in your hand. But it's up to you. How many times have I told you? योगी जो योग में सदा ही रहे, प्रभु के योग में रहे, संसार की माया में वो ना फंसे, सदा योग में वो रहे. प्रभु की प्यास हो सदा, प्रभु से प्यार वो करे, योगी वो है जो माया से बच के रहे, प्रभु के योग में रहे. With folded hands, I will see you tomorrow at 8.